what I would say if you were to honor me with this. But I do want, something's coming to mind. It's true, there's a disclaimer though. First of all, I was not ever elected to direct honors choir. What happened was, Greg Cleveland broke himself. And he was in the hospital, and it was a little over a week, and I was in bed on a Saturday morning, and my phone rang, and they said, "Hey Monty, we need you to direct Region B Honors Choir." And I was like, wait, what? Joke. The good one. No. I said, "Can I call you back?" What? I said, "Okay, I'm going to fall on this sword." And so I tried to be Greg. And it turned out to be one of the most amazing experiences of my life that I've cherished. So thank you, Greg, for breaking yourself and opening that door for me. I do want to tell you something, though, because I'm going to put this in a place where I can see it, and I'll just cherish it. But I'll cherish it because I think that by honoring me, you're honoring yourselves. And I would defer it back to you, and here's why. I never, ever, ever, ever wanted to be a teacher because my high school experience was so ugly and it was so damaging and I was so bullied that I never wanted to go back there. I was scared of kids. And I had a grandma who kept saying, "You need to be a teacher." I'm like, "Yeah, right, Grandma." So I went to Albion College because I wanted to be an attorney, because I wanted to come back with the prettiest wife and the most expensive car and the best of everything and show those idiots that I really was somebody, right? The first person that I met at Albion College was Mel Larimer. I auditioned with him and he said, "Oh my gosh, we've got to get you in the program, we've got to get you, you need to be teaching music, or you need to be..." And I left that audition and I got into the choir, and that's what I wanted to do. And I liked him a lot, but there was no way I was going to do that. So I graduated from Albion College, and I went into performing. And that was going great until my wife called and said, "I'm not going to be married to somebody who's gone more than he's home. You got kids and a wife, come home." I said, "What am I going to do now?" And out of desperation, I took a job at Nashville Christian Academy. I figured, how bad can the Christians be, right? Well, without going down that road, the light came on. I liked them. I liked the kids. And I called Mel back. And I said, "Mel, I think I want to be a teacher." But there was a big problem. I said, "I want to be a music teacher." And he was like welcoming me home. It was like he was waiting for me. The prodigal was coming home, and he said, "We have a problem, Monty. We don't have any of the classes available that you need." So I'm like, "Okay, how many years is it going to take me to get through this?" And Mel said, "I will tutor you in every one of them." And so he took time in his office at my schedule, and he tutored me in the coursework that I needed to become a teacher. And yes, my student teaching, my practice teaching was such a disaster that this is true, and I can tell you now because I'm retiring in June and it just won't matter anymore. But the review was so bad that the education department at Albion College said, "We need to lose this." And we ripped it up right there and got rid of it. She said, "You'll never get a job if this is on your record." No, that's the truth. It's the truth. And I know I'm taking longer than 3 minutes, but you have to know this. I had Mel went to bat for me and became the most significant mentor that I've ever had in any area of my life. And then I had the privilege to also then have his granddaughter, Ashley, in my classroom. So it came full circle. It was really cool. But when I started my career, I had 19 tone-deaf girls, and they don't mind me calling them that because they know what's up, and they're all friends on Facebook, and they're like, "Yeah, we didn't know what we were doing." And I couldn't play the piano, so we had to sing by rote because they didn't know what they were doing, and we had to sing without any accompaniment, so we had to sing everything a cappella. Man, we got good fast. in Indiana. With no disrespect to what goes on in Indiana, if any of you have taught in Indiana, you know the bar is much higher here. Because I came back here and I took the job in Holt, and the first festival that we went to, we got stuck right behind warming up Samako singers, and my kids they begged me to get back on the bus and go home. They did, no doubt. And the first 4 years that I was teaching, my scores for my kids went down. And so I stood there in the office and I said, I think I need to find something else to do. Wendy Treacher put her arm around me and said, no, you do not. I'm going to come to your classroom and I'm going to watch you teach and I'm going to tell you what's going on. And she did. And she said, here's one thing wrong with what you're doing, Monty. You're letting them off the hook. Everything you're teaching is sound and you know what you're doing, but you're just letting them off the hook. So I started kicking their butts. And then we started to turn a corner, but we got way better than I thought I could ever. And I get that to the family that Pam was talking about, because the kids believed in me and I believed in them, and we were kind of walking through it together. And when I started doing it made a real difference for me. It's another one of my kids right here, Elise. I started watching you. I started sending my kids home and watching you conduct and hanging out in your practice rooms, hanging out in clinics and listening to what the judges said about your groups and how it applied to what your groups were going through. And then I became an adjudicator, which scared me to death because I was sure I didn't know enough, but I learned from you. You have no idea. Even now, when I'm your adjudicator, I wander through your classrooms. I look at your pictures and I look at your awards. I listen to your groups perform. I watch you interact with them. I watch how they look at you when you're not looking at them. And then I've learned how to do this from you all. Because all I know how to do is sing. That's all I've ever really known how to do much of, is to sing. But to teach singing, well, you know I wasn't a very good teacher out of the gate because we had to tear that evaluation up. I learned from you. So I want to just, thank you, defer this to you and tell you, I can't even, I'll remember this and cherish it always. For you, the amazing people that you are, to think that I belong in this category I just don't have a word for that. But thank you. I will cherish this, and I will be thanking you and remembering you. Thank you.